Recording in progress.
ஐந்து கரத்தனை ஆனை முகத்தனை இந்தின் இளம்பிறை போலும் எயிற்றனை நந்தி மகந்தனை ஞானக் கொழுந்தினை உந்தியில் வைத்தடி போற்றுகின்றேனே. தந்தை தாயாவானும் சார்கதீங்காவானும் அந்தமிலா இன்பம் நமக்காவானும் எந்தமது ஊனாகுவானும் உயிராகுவானும் அருட்கோனாகுவானும் குரு. நன்மையும் செல்வமும் நாளும் நல்குமே, திண்மையும் பாபமும் சிதைந்து தேயுமே, ஜென்மமும் மரணமும் இன்றித் தீருமே, இம்மையே ராம என்றிரண்டெழுத்தினான். 12. Last class there was a topic about Asura Deva and so on. Later Rama meets Jadayu. Then in Ramayana itself some details comes. We will see that details in that portion. Otherwise there is a Kashyapa Rishi and for him there were Devas, Asuras, Danavas. Asuras are otherwise known as Daityas. So all are siblings. Even in Jyotisha, nakshatras are divided into ganas. In the 10 matches they see, one is Ganapuratam. The Gana means Deva, Asura, Manusha Ganas. Even in Jyotisha there is a differentiation like that. Generally they won't join Deva Gana with Asura Gana. Manushya Gana joins both sides. Like that they have some rules and regulations in Jyotisha. Just for your information I am telling. Even though you may be a Tamlar or you are a Arya, then when you come to Jyotisha, according to your nakshatra, you will be bracketed under maybe Asura or Deva or Manushya. So such words have their own meaning, not in the sense as we are brainwashed now. And there were lakhs of years, if not crores of years. So there are lot of hybrid happened, mixture happened. So talking about those purity and all won't work. Then I was giving you Ramayana contexts. It happened in Kannadasan's life. He was known as Muttaya, as I suppose. His pet name is Kannadasan, a great cinema songwriter. Initially he was carried away by the Dravidian thoughts. Then later he felt his mistake. How he felt his mistake is an interesting thing. So there was a person called Anna, C.N. Annadurai. He wrote a book called Kimayanam, if I am remembering well. It is to attack Ramayana. He wrote a book. Then as a follower of Dravidian culture, this Kannadasan also took interest in condemning Kamba-Ramayana. So he ventured into reading Kamba-Ramayana. When he went into reading Kamba-Ramayana, slowly he was taken away, carried away, or absorbed in Kamba-Ramayana. He could appreciate Rama and Kamba-Ramayana, everything, literature, everything. Then he changed for good as a Astika. From Dravidian to, he came back to his original shape. Thereafter, he joined Congress, a national party at that time. So, it is Kamba-Ramayana with the ill intention. Kannadasan started reading, but Kamba-Ramayana changed him for good. So, finally, when he was dying, he wrote Arthamulla Hindu Madam and all. He was very devoted to Kanchi Mahaperiyava, Chandrasekharendra Saraswati, and so on. And as he switched his side from Dravidian side to Hindu, there were a lot of opposition for him. Then they started, somehow they want to put him down. So they started writing ill of him. And one among that is, he is copying old Tamil literature. He don't know to write songs on his own. He is copying everything from old literature, like that. So they were trying to find out from where he might have took these lines. Or they are interpreting like that. One day it happened, Kannadasan was going somewhere. He was stopped in a railway gate. In those days, I don't know whether you people know that, when the railway track is coming, crossing the road, they will put a gate for the train to pass away. Till then you have to wait. After the train passes away, then we were allowed to go. So this side Kannadasan was waiting for the train to pass. The other side he found the person who was criticizing him. Then Kannadasan went to that person, because one can walk through the railway gate. So he went to the person and told him, see, the coming cinemas, these are all the songs I have written, and these are the songs I have taken from these literatures. Please publish this also. Because as Kannadasan became a spiritual person, his heart became broad, accepting everybody. So he went to that person and gave these details. For example, Aatu Vittal Araruvar Adadare. Then he added Kanna with that. This is coming from Devaram. If I remember well, the upper Tirunavukarasar Devaram. Aatu Vittal Araruvar Adadare, Paattu Vittal Araruvar Padadare. Like that, it was original song. But he took it for his cinema in a little bit different way. Then there is one Siddhar song. Mettiya Madarum Ahattumatte. Like that it goes. That he translated it into Veedu Varai Uravu, Veedu Varai Manivi, Veedi Varai Uravu, Kaadu Varai Pillai, Kadisi Varai Yaro. And from Kamba-Ramayanam, the other day I was telling you, Unnai Cholli Kuttamillai, Ennai Cholli Kuttamillai, originally from Nadiyin Pillai Endu Narummunal Inmai, Kamba-Ramayanam. So spirituality makes you generous, accommodative, and so on. That we see in Kannadasan's life also. So that was a continuation of the last class. And coming to Ramayana, we were seeing Bharata was trying to prove his innocence by taking some vows. So we continue Bharata's vow. He says, if a person supports his dependents through the sale of lacquer, that is arak, they say in Tamil, laksha griham, they say in Sanskritam. We saw in Mahabharatam, Panchapandavas were put in a house and they were trying to burn them in the house. So that is called lacquer. Laksha became lacquer in English, I suppose. Then honey, flesh, iron, poison, weapons, bomb. These are all in scriptures prohibited to sell. Okay. So this is the point we are getting from this Bharata's saying. Scriptures prohibit, one should not sell these things. Lecture, honey, flesh, iron and poison, weapons, bomb and so on. But if one sells them and with that money he supports the people around him who are dependent on him, then he incurs sin. Bharata says, let the sin incur to me. Then if a warrior running away from battlefield, that is a sin, Bharata says, let that sin occur to me. If I were the cause of Rama going to forest, Bharata says, let me become a beggar. Then Bharata says, let me given into liquor. The whole Tamil Nadu is gave itself into liquor. Given into women, gambling, or overpowered by lust, anger. If such people occurs sin, let that sin come to me. So we understands that selling liquor, gambling, given to lust and anger and all, accrues papa for one. Bharata says, let that papa sin come to me. Then Bharata says, a person not inclined to dharma, that is a adharma person. So whatever sin he gets, let it incur to me. And donating to the undeserved. Patram arindu pichaidu, they say in Tamil. Udavi varaithandu udavi chayapattar salbin varaithu, Tirukural says. So we have to donate, do dhanam for the deserving people. In another place, Tirukural says, Variyavar kondi ivade igai. Who don't have anything to eat, you have to give them food. Already they are very well-to-do people. By giving annadhanam, what are you going to get? Punyam you are going to get by that. So Bharata says, dhanam means it is not just giving away something. It has to be reaching to the right people. So donating to the undeserved incurs sin. So let me incur that sin. Then Bharata says, if I were the cause for Rama's going to forest, let my wealth be looted by the robbers. So Bharata considers that also as a sin. If somebody's wealth is looted, then due to some papa it happens. Then if one didn't do Sandhya Vandanam, prayer in the twilight times, he sleeps nicely in that time. Morning 6 o'clock, evening 6 o'clock. Generally, Prata Sandhya, Sayam Sandhya, they say this is Vaidika Sandhya. Then there is Smartha Sandhya also. That is in the mid-noon, 12 o'clock. So 3 Sandhya Upasana, they say. So here he mentions Pratha and Sayam, twilight time, Sayankalam. When the night ends and the day dawns, or the day ends, night comes. Such meeting point is called twilight times, Sandhya Kalam. If one sleeps in that time without doing his duty of Sandhya Vandanam, then he incurs sin. Bharata says, let the sin come to me. Then, if one Agnido Garadas Chaiva Shatrupani Dhanapakaha, possibly you might have heard in Gita class, Atatai, one who burns the dwelling place of somebody, sin of arsoning. Then violating teacher's bird. Then cheating your friend, mitra droham. These are all sins. Bharata says, let that sin incur to me. Then, if I were the reason for sending Rama to forest, he says, let me lose the service of gods, mains, and parents. So, in Panchamaha Yajnam, you might have heard that Deva Yajnam, Pitru Yajnam. So, let me lose that opportunity to do such things. So, if one has a sin, papa, then only he won't get such opportunities according to Bharata. Then, if a person devoted to may not be the right word, committed to the evil path, what sin he will incur? Let me incur that sin. If one didn't serve his mother, then that is a sin. Bharata says, let that sin incur to me. So we understand serving mother was considered very much important in those days, in Bharata's days. Of course, in our Shastra, everywhere it is told, but nowadays there are many problems we find. People taking care of their parents. Then, let me become a pauper, poor, if I were the reason for sending Rama to the forest. Let me become a patient with diseases. Generally, it is considered diseases are occurring. One of the reason may be our sins also, papas also. So Bharata says, let me become a patient with diseases. Then let me suffer hardships continuously. Generally in our life we face lot of difficulties. Then we can infer. You might have heard that punyasya phalam ichchandi punyam na kurvandi manavaha papasya phalam na ichchandi papam sada kurvandi. There is one wishes to be happy. How happiness comes? It is a result of good deeds. But one won't do good deeds, but he wants happiness. One don't want to suffer. Why one is suffering? It is the result of bad karmas, deeds we do. Wrong deeds we do. But still he does wrong deeds. So, generally it is considered happiness, if we enjoy, if comes to us, that means Thidum Nandum Peradharavara, Tamil also says, we did some good things. In this life or earlier lives, we did some good things. That fructifies us happiness. If we did some wrong things, then that will fructify us suffering. So, Bharata says, let me suffer hardships continuously. if I were the reason for sending Rama to forest. Then Bharata says, let me become unable to help the destitutes. So, if we were unable to help people who are deserving, then that is very pitiable condition. Bharata says, let that pitiable condition come to me. So, from this we can infer safely that we have to help serve the people who are wanting help. In Vivekananda Swami says, Daridra Devo Bhava, Dukhi Devo Bhava, Murkha Devo Bhava. Let poor become your God, let the sufferer become your God, let the uneducated become your God. That means you make them come out of that situation by your whatever way you can possible, you can help them. Serve them, actually. Because help is having a different connotation in Ramakrishna's dictionary and Vivekananda's dictionary. There is some ego involved in that. Serving is a humble way of doing service to the people. Okay. Then wait for some time, the train is passing by. Maybe my voice is disturbed. Train crossed me, but after crossing me only the effect will come. It won't come immediately. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Dominic.
Okay, we continue. So, if I were the reason for sending Rama to forest, let me ever delight in deception. So, delighting in deception is a wrong thing to happen. Bharata says, if I were the reason, let me delight in deception. Or, let me remain a backbiter. கோல் சொல்றது குண்டலி சொல்றதுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. Let me remain a backbiter. So these are all wrong things from Bharata's saying. We understand we should not deceive others, we should not backbite. Then let me become a impure person and afraid of the king. Who will afraid of the king? A terrorist may afraid of the king. A wrongdoer may be afraid of the king. So Bharata says, if I were the reason, let me become such a person. Then if I were the reason for sending Rama to forest, let me, Bharata says, become unable to fulfill the wish of the wife. So even that is very sin according to Bharata. In Manusmriti it says, buy food, dress, ornaments, etc. One has to make his wife happy. So that's a duty of a husband according to Manusmriti also. Bharata also says here, let me become the person who is unable to fulfill the desire of the wife. Then, if I were the reason, then let me incur the sin of a Brahmana whose offsprings die. There is two stories to this effect. In Mahabharata also, I didn't tell you people, I suppose. In some Brahmana's house, the children were dying very younger. 5 year, 4 year, 3 year, like that. Then the person went to Krishna. Then Arjuna accompanied Krishna. Arjuna told, I will be protecting the Brahmana's children, the coming child. So he made a wall of arrows. Even air cannot enter. How Yama can enter? So to protect the house, he made arrangements with his power of arrow. Then for everyone's surprise, that child also died away at once after the birth. Then Arjuna and Krishna went behind in search of the Atma, soul of the child, Jivatma of the child. Like that the story goes. Then in Ramayana, there is a Chambuga story. It comes in Uttara Ramayana, not in the main Ramayana. The addendum, the annexure of the Ramayana. So there is a Chambuga story. The Chambuga story also, some Brahmana comes and complains to Rama. You are telling you are having a very wonderful rule. What they say, Tamil, they say Porkalam. There is an English word for that. Not utopia. Okay. Very good rule. Nobody suffers. Everybody are living quite peaceful, happily, with whatever they want. Unlike Pakistan people, they were happy in their living. So Rama was ruling like that. Then this Brahmana came and scolded Rama. See, in your rule, my children died. And Rama then inquired the things. And there are something like that. See, if a king is ruling a country properly, according to our Shastra, no child should die. In the sense, not in that right time. Unexpectedly, children should not be dying. Then there should not be earthquake, there should not be volcanoes fuming, there should not be tsunami, and so on. So if such natural calamities takes place means something is going wrong in the country. Some adharma is happening without the knowledge of the king. So Rama started inquiring things. Then he found there was a Shudra called Chambuka. He was doing tapas. He wanted to go to Swarga with this body. Whether he believed in Swarga or not, that's a different thing. But he wanted to go to Swarga with this body, so he was doing tapas. Then Rama came to know this thing. Then he went and told him, this is not possible for anyone. Even for my grand ancestor called Trishanku. There was a person called Trishanku in my family. He wanted to go with his body. Then he did something. When he was unable to go, then he approached Vishwamitra. Then Vishwamitra sent him to Devaloka, Swarga. Then Indra kicked him from there before entering the Swarga. Then when he was coming down, then Vishwamitra, by his power, tapas power, he created a Swarga in between the earth and Swarga Loka. That is called Trishanku Swarga, created by Vishwamitra. So he lost his tapas powers by doing that. So it is not prescribed in Shastra. This is not the way to go to Swarga. We have to do good things so that we can go to Swarga. And the main thing we have to seek for is moksha, not Swarga or Naraka. You have to seek for moksha without getting any more birth or death. So whatever you do, because of your little knowledge, you are doing wrong thing, so you please give up. But he was adamant enough to not to give up. Then Rama cut his head because he was not obeying. Then because he died from the hands of Rama, like Kumbhakarna, he wanted to die in the hands of Rama, not in the hands of Ravana. We see later. So, because dying at the hands of God means going to Swarga. Shishupala, we saw in this story. And in Ramayana, Mahabharata, we saw some more things in this effect, to this effect. So, because he died in the hands of Lord Rama, Bhagavan himself, so he attained Swarga. Of course, not in this body, his Suksha Sharira attained the Swarga. So, whatever he wanted, Rama gave him, and he protected the people, his citizens also, no more problems. So, it is said in the Shastra, if children are dying very often, then there is something going wrong in the country. The king, ruler has to take care of that. And Rama took care of that. So Bharata says, let that sin occur to me. Then let that sin occur to me by interrupting the worship of a Brahmana. So if we interrupt a worship of a Brahmana, then we incur sin. Then Bharata says further, milking a cow which calved less than 10 days ago. Possibly I have not heard of anybody following this. After the birth of the calf, 10 days we have to allow the calf to drink the milk. We should not be taking the milk for our own purpose. Of course, 2-3 days they allow, I think they call, there is a yellow colored milk will come, they call in Tamil chimbal. It is in rich of antibiotic and so on. Very healthy for the child calf to grow in the future. All the nutritions, antibiotics, antivirus, everything will be there. So, very healthy for the calf. So, generally at least 3 days they allow the calf to drink the milk, I suppose. But I have seen this also. They take the chimbal, that milk, and boil it, make something dish out of that, like palkova, cake, something like that. Then human beings eat that. They want to get immunity. According to them, we take care of the calf. Whatever it wants, we give. We call the doctor and put injection also if necessary. So we can also take part of that immunity power which comes from the chimbal. Okay, so Bharata says, if a cow which calved less than 10 days ago, 10 days time is given, if it is milked even before that, then let the sin incur to me. Then wishing another's wife or forsaking his lawful wife. These are all sin, papas. Bharata says, let that sin incur to me. Then sin incurs to one when he defiles the water. Thaya padichaalum thanneera padikade, they say in Tamil. So one should not contaminate the water. So if one does that, then it incurs sin. Bharata says, let the sin incur to me. And if one gives poison to others, garadaha, agnido garadas in Atatayi comes. If one administer poison to somebody, by giving poison, if one try to kill another person, then that is a sin. Bharata says, let the sin incur to me. And if one didn't give water for a thirsty, Tannir Pandal, Tirunavukkarasar, Tannir Pandal, Tirunavukkarasar, etc., etc. In Tirunavukkarasar story, there is a Nayanar called Apudi Adigal. See, one becomes a devotee of Bhagavan. That's a good thing. But according to Hindu tradition, if one becomes a devotee of a devotee, there is a higher thing. Padamada Koil Paramar Kondiyil, Nadamada Koil Number Kangaha. Nadamada Koil Number Kondiyil, Padamada Koil Paramar Kangame. So one gets more punya, more spiritual powers or spiritual progress by worshipping a devotee than the Bhagavan. So the Apudi Adigal is a devotee who was devotee of Tirunavukkarasar. That's how the story goes. So he generally in summer days, in Kathopanishad, I don't know whether you have heard that, there is two things called Ishta Purtam. Among them, the Purtam is Annadanam Aramaha Devata Ayatananicha Vapikupa Tadakadini. There are all charity works. In Kathopanishad, they mention charity work. Ishta means pujas, worship. Then Purtam means charities, service. Generally, there is an opinion in our mind, Hinduism, there is no service, there is no charity. We borrow everything from Christian missionaries. They only knew how to do charities and so on. These are all half-baked knowledge because we don't know our tradition. So we can say that things like that, we think like that. In Kathopanishad, it says Ishta Purtam and so on. The Purtam means charity work. Charity means Annadanam, giving food freely, offering food freely. Aramaha, giving shelter. Chatram they say in those days. We can say hotel but without paying. Devata Ayatananicha, temples. Then Vapi, Kupa, Tadaka Adini, water bodies, whether well or pond or lake. So such things, if we create and people get benefited of that, then it is a very good work which will give punya. So apart from that, people create sheds for water. In Jayalalitha, there was a chief minister in Tamil Nadu previously called Jayalalitha. She asked her party people to do that. Everywhere in the summer season, water sheds are there. They may give water or they may give buttermilk or they may give panakaram. There is a sweet thing made out of jaggery, sarkarai, then lemon if possible, but generally in that time lemon will be costlier, so people may adopt to tamarind, puli, then yalakai, chuk, ginger, dry ginger, then jeerakam, then pepper, black pepper, nallamala. So these are all the things, medicine, like rasam, they make with jaggery. It will be sweet also, quenching your thirst also. So quenching one's thirst is a punya karma. If one, even after asking for water, one didn't give, then he incurs sin. Bharata says, let the sin come to me. Then I have picked up something. It is like Bhagavan says in the 10th chapter, Yat yat vibhudi matsattvam srimad urjidameva tattadeva avagachattvam mama tejo amsa sambhavam. Nasti vistarasya me. I cannot list my glories. So I have enumerated something few for you. In Gita, Bhagavan says, the same way, I have also picked something only, which may interest you or which may give you some insight in our culture. So I have picked up something from Bharata's a long vows. So in that list, this is the last one, which I have picked up. Witnessing a dispute with partiality. Two people are fighting. We didn't take side because we take side with some side people, though maybe adharmic side also. Actually, if there is a dispute, we have to go intervene and quieten them, ask them to talk to each other and solve the matter. But if we don't do, that is a sin according to those Indian culture. So, witnessing a dispute with partiality is a sin. Bharata says, let me incur the sin. So, with this, I conclude the Bharata's justifying himself to Kaushalya that I am not the reason for Rama's exile. Then people pacified Bharata. Kaushalya also was very much pleased with him, and everybody asked him to perform the obsequial rites to his deceased father. On the 12th day, there is different custom in different castes or places. In Ramayana, they say the 12th day, the obsequial rites were done. 16, Adindram, 16, Sodashi and so on are there. So it differs to culture, place to place. We need not much bother about that. Whatever our elders did, we can follow. Then they picked up the principal bones on the 13th day. If in a culture where they burn the deceased person, they, after burning them the next day or so, they will pick up the principal bones. Some bones, they, whichever left out, they will pick something from that. They collect, then there is a ceremony to wash and all. Then after that, they take to nearby water body, generally to place like Rameshwaram, Kanyakumari, Triveni Sangam is there, Rameshwaram Agni Tirtham is there. Then they may take even to Haridwar, Kashi, Gaya. There are places meant for such things in India. So they take the bones there and immerse in the water there. So the picking of the bones were done in the 13th day. So after finishing such rites, then they left. Bharata was not willing to take the possession of the kingdom, so he told, I will go to Rama and somehow I will try to convince him, bring him back. Then he proceeded to the forest. Rama was in Chitrakuta mountain or hill, which is near Mandakini river. Then Bharata reached there. There were something happened in between, but finally Bharata reached Rama. Then he was requesting Rama, please come back to kingdom. It is not my wish, something happened without my knowledge. So we can correct the mistake. So will you please come back. Then Rama didn't oblige to Bharata. He gave two reasons to Bharata. One of the reason Rama telling Bharata is Dasharatha promised to Kaikeyi's father while marrying her that Kaikeyi's son alone would succeed to the throne. So this information we get here from Rama's mouth. We saw in Mahabharata, Satyavati's father was asking Santanu, my daughter's son only should become the Adhikari for throne. The same way it happened in Kaikeyi's life too, it seems. So Rama says, remains Bharata. So this was a promise given to Kaikeyi's father that Kaikeyi's son only will become the king. So it is not just happened because your mother went and asked two boons. So Dasharatha gave. It is not like that, not that simple. It was already decided when your mother was married. So we have to respect that promise given to your mother's father. Then he was keen to repay the debt he owed to her for having come to his rescue in his encounter with Daman. I rephrase that. Dasharatha was keen to repay the debt Dasharatha owed to her, that is Kaikeyi, for having come to his rescue, Dasharatha's rescue, in Dasharatha's encounter with Damans. So I already told this, I suppose. Then in that context only, Dasharatha offered her two boons. She was very happy, so she didn't ask for any boon. So that boons only she asked now. Bharata has to ascend to the throne and Rama has to go to the forest for 14 years. So here Rama says that 12th mantra, Sarga 107, Punnamno narakat yasmat pitaram trayate sutaha tasmat putra iti proktaha pitrun yapati sarvataha. Something to this effect, there is a slogan in Manusmriti also, if I remember well. A duty of a son is he has to protect his father from not going to Put. There is a Naraka. There are many Narakas. One is called Put. His father should not, his ancestors should not reach that Naraka. So the Putra has to, because the Putra protects not going to the Put Naraka, he is called Putra. Put namna naraka trayate iti putra. So that also Rama says in this context. Then as Bharata's efforts went vain, another one Rishi came in the scene. We may see that maybe in the next class also. If there is any question, I can take. Then, if not, then we can continue. So there was a Maharishi called Jabali. Jabali, he thought, let me give you a try. In this context, we have to understand, Dasharatha himself asked Rama, his mother Kaushalya asked Rama. Lakshmana told, I will get you the kingdom. Then, now Bharata, who was given the kingdom, he himself offers it back. We have to think now, if we were Rama, in schools they ask us to write essays. If you were become a PM, if you were become a CM, what will you do? The same way we have to ask, if I were Rama, what will I do? See, nobody is going to blame Rama if he accepted Dasaratha's offer, if he accepted Kaushalya's offer, if he accepted Lakshmana's offer. Sometimes that may bring a blame, but now Bharata himself offers him. Now there are nobody to blame Rama. Still Rama refuses to take back the kingdom. That is Rama's greatness. We have to understand. Rama is not an ordinary person. That is the greatness of Rama. So, this Rishi now intervenes in the scene. When the traditional methods fail, he brings in Nastika method. So we see Nastika people, Nastika arguments in this context in Ramayana itself. He asks, Kakkasya Purushaha Bantu Kimapyam Kasya Kenachit. Who is related to whom? These are all just idiotic. This is my father, this is my son, this is my wife, this is my husband. These are all idiotic things. Just we happen to come together, that's it. Why should you bother about such things? Why are you giving so important to such things? We come alone. We go alone. Because you are not going to take your father and mother alone because you are very loving, or your wife, or your, in that matter, your son. Nobody is going to take their beloved people along with them while they leave the well. Or while coming also they brought along with them. Yadi eko jayate jantur eka eva vinashyati. Come alone and goes alone. So, who is no mother, no father? If one thinks, this is my mother, this is my father, just don't misunderstand me and mistake me, because now whatever I am going to say may look like a Vedanta also. So, we have to be very careful. One should not get attached to mother or father or any relation. If one attached to something, then he is an ordinary guy. He is not a great guy. Without attachment, one should live. So you give up. Tasman mata pita chayiti Rama sajjate yo naraha unmattha iva saidneha. He is the unmatta means mental paithyam. So nasti kaschit ha kaschit. Nobody is related with anybody. Nobody is attached to anybody. Give up such idiotic ideas. Yatha kramandaram kachan na kaschit vaset. We go to a place, live for some days, live in a hotel for some days, go to a village for some days, go to a city some days. We keep moving. We live for some days and we keep moving. The same way, Utsrijyacha tam avasam pradisthito parohani. Then we go to other place, we take another place to live. Evame manushyanam pita mata griham vasu. This is how. In this janma they are the father and mother. Next janma some mother. Previous janma some mothers. In Ammai எத்தனை அம்மையோ அப்பன் எத்தனை அப்பனோ பிள்ளை எத்தனை பிள்ளையோ பெண்டிர் எத்தனை பிள்ளையோ பெண்டிரோ. Patinathar have a song like that. We have many janmas, Many births we took, different births, we had different mothers, different fathers, different wives, different husbands, different children. Why are you taking much importance to that? So, you noble people who don't get attached to such things. We are getting attached to such things. Nate kachis dasharata tom cha tasya na kaschana. You are not belonging to Dasharatha. Dasharatha is not belonging to you. Anyo Raja Tom Anyascha Tasmat Kuru Yaduchyate. And so, whatever told by your elder mother, father, and Bharata, please take the kingdom back. Because there is not much connection between father and mother. Just father is a cause for you to take birth. That's it. Bijamatram pita jandoho shukram shonitam evacha. Samyuktam ritum matra purushasyeha janmatat. Just it is a coincidence. They became your father and mother. Don't give much importance to that. So, now Dasharatha has gone to Swarga. We are also, one day or other, we will also have to leave the body. Why are you giving so much importance to that? Today Dasharatha's turn, tomorrow our turn. In between, we have to do whatever good thing we have to do. It is good, you are the elder son, so you can rule the kingdom. Rule the kingdom. What is the problem for you? Pravritti esha martyanam samtu mithya vihanyase. So we are all dying people, one day or other we die. So don't bother about much. Artha dharma para ye tans chabi netaran. Who are given to artha, there is dharma, artha, kama, moksha, four things are there. So who are given to artha and dharma, they only will have attachment. Whoever are given to moksha, dharma, they won't have attachment. So you give up this attachment to your father. Don't give much importance to his words. He happened to be your father this birth. That's it. Don't give much importance. Tehi dukkham iha prapya vinasham pretya behjire ashtaka pitru deva tyam ityayam pravruttho janaha. And there he brings in some rites like Shraddha, Tarpana and all. He says, who knows? By giving Shraddha or Tarpana, it reaches that person. Who have seen that? Of course, in these days, people, they think they are very intelligent people. They are asking such questions. We have no answer. This is asked in Valmiki Ramayana itself. Even before such questions were asked, okay. But in Ramayana also we saw. He himself asked, who knows, by giving such offering, it reaches that person and helps that person. Yadi bhuktam iha anyena deham anyasya gacchati tadyat pravasata shraddam natat pathyam asanam bhavet. See, if only we do Shraddha and Tarpana and it reaches the person there, if it is true, then nowadays in the sense, in those days, when one goes for a yatra, travel, trip, then he was given morning food, afternoon food, night food in a parcel so that he can use in the way. Because in those days there were no hotels. So you cannot buy, and those days nobody sells food also. It is a papam. Nobody sells food, nobody sells education, nobody sells medicine. That was the custom in those days. So people, whoever travels, they, from house itself, they pack things and goes to places. Of course, even now, maybe in your place also it may be there. When we send our children to school, we give them morning breakfast, evening lunch, and some snacks also we pack and give. At least in our place it is happening. Mother will have maybe need to get up 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning, then get everything ready before the child leaves the home by 6 o'clock or so for school. So everything is packed and given. If suppose, if we offer here something, it reaches somewhere else, why should we pack things and give to people? So such logic questions the Jabali Maharishi asks Rama. Sa nasti paramityeva kuru buddhi mahamate pratyaksham yattadadishta paroksham prishtata kuru. Whatever we see with our eyes is only true. Whatever you don't see, don't consider them as true. It is not an intelligent way of understanding things. Satam buddhim puraskritya sarvaloka nidarshnim rajyam tvam pratigrihneeta bharatena prasadita. So, Bharata offers you country. We are also with Bharata. Nobody is against you or nobody is questioning you. Nobody is going to. So, whatever they are asking is a very good, right thing. So, please take the kingdom. This is the arguments put forth by Jabari Maharishi. And we have to see how Rama reacted to this.
But he's this thing atheist, isn't it, sir?
Huh?
Atheist, no?
He is not atheist, but he put forth arguments of whatever now I told is atheist arguments. Vedanta arguments may resemble the same, but Vedanta arguments come out of a great understanding. These are arguments without any understanding. So that's the main difference between these arguments and Vedanta's arguments. So maybe
he's also testing Rama to see what Rama will do.
In our case, Rama passed in this test.
Yeah.
So Rama's greatness came out of that. So these are all the incidents we see how Rama was great. So it helps us a lot to learn, understand Rama's greatness. So it is a good thing happened. We will see what Rama replied in the next class. Pray. Om Anjile ஒன்று பெற்றான் அஞ்சிலே ஒன்றைத் தாவி அஞ்சிலே ஒன்று ஆறாக ஆரியற்காக ஏகி அஞ்சிலே ஒன்று பெற்ற அணங்கை கண்டயலாரூரில் அஞ்சிலே ஒன்றை வைத்தான் அவன் நம்மை அழித்துக் காப்பான். ஹரிஹி ஓம் தத்சத் சர்வம் பிரம்மார்ப்பணமஸ்து ஸ்ரீ கிருஷ்ணார்ப்பணமஸ்து.